Our next speaker for the pre-lunch session is Professor Kesang Degi, Professor of Education, Rajiv Gandhi Central University, and she will be speaking on gender disparities in education, a perspective from Northeast India. Professor Degi, it's all yours now. A warm welcome uh, to our 7-day international online workshop, and it's all yours now.
Thank you so much. Before I start, I would like to thank the organizers, the principal of the college, Professor Sarkar, Dr. Ghosh, the director of the Women's Studies Center, Miss Monisha Jha, the joint coordinator of Women's Studies Center, and of course, Dr. Amrita, my sister and friend, for giving me this opportunity. And also Miss Mohua Roy for introducing me. So I would like to share my presentation here. Can I?
Yes, Professor Degi.
Yes, I am doing it now. I hope it's visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, I'll be speaking on gender disparities in education, a perspective from Northeast India. Of course, the previous speaker was also speaking on Northeast India, the marginalization of women in Northeast India. So this is the picture I have kept. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You are absolutely audible. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So this is the picture I have kept. If you can see the picture, the women in Northeast, they play multiple roles. You can see a woman giving lecture or, giving some training. Then you can also see a woman, doing household chores. Then the two women, they are showing their traditional attire. So this picture I have kept in the beginning to show that the role of women is, they perform multiple tasks in northeastern region. Now, since this is the third or fourth day of your workshop, you must have gone through. I don't have to discuss about the gender and sex. Now, when we talk about gender inequality in education, you know that, and if you see the white and all these, they have given that gender inequality is a persistent problem in Indian society, especially for girls from rural areas and lower socioeconomic background. And this is very much, the situation is very much in northeastern region. The most of the population in northeastern region, around 60 to 70%, are residing in the rural areas. If you see the report of UNICEF, only 66% of the countries have achieved gender parity in education. Now, when we talk about gender equality in education, it means education program must be gender sensitive. How many of we realize that whether the syllabus, the curriculum which has been framed, which has been developed are gender sensitive or not? If I remember my younger days when I was in school, I often see, the mother in the pictures also, the mother doing household work, the father reading newspaper. So this is something which we accept that this is natural. We accept that this is natural, this has to happen. Learning environment must promote equal participation and environment. Girls must be granted the same level of encouragement and preparation as boys to get enrolled in the school and excel in the class as well. So I'll be discussing this later in the later part. We all know that development of any society is possible if gender equality in education is taken seriously. Gender equality in education is the most important factor, I can say, which brings development in the society. We all know that when girls are educated, they have better career opportunities. We gain self-confidence, we learn technical skills, and we support home and society. And nowadays, if you see, it's a world of artificial intelligence. The women, they are performing multitasking, they are supporting financially also. Now, I think the previous speaker also, he must have spoke on the Northeast region. I'll give a brief background of education in Northeast India. As we know that Northeastern state, it consists of 8 states: Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Sikkim. The state consists of 70% of total population except Assam and Tripura. Um, the northeastern region is so diverse. If you talk about Arunachal Pradesh only, my state, I am from Arunachal Pradesh, there are 26 major tribes and more than 100 sub-tribes. And in our state, around 30 to 50 diverse language are spoken. So there are 99 tribes in the approximately in the entire northeastern region, and they are speaking different dialects, different languages, and they have different cultural pattern. If you see the history of education in Northeast region, it started during British period. Few populations of Assam, Tripura, Manipur were educated through education system like Gurukuls, Maktabs, etc. However, there is also evidence of, Buddhist monastic education in Buddhist monasteries and in Tripura, because we also have Buddhist population in Tripura and Buddhist population in Arunachal Pradesh. But the true education in Northeast region is spread by Christian missionaries. Now, in the process of spreading Christianity, in the process of converting the tribal population to Christians, they have, they have started for modern education, you can say English education in the region, and their works are well documented and well known. The American Baptist Mission, the Dutch Baptists, the Roman Catholics, they were the first who ventured, who came to Northeastern region. If you see the work of missionaries, the impact of missionaries, the literacy rate in some states of the region, for example, the Lusai Hills, at present Mizoram, they have a very high literacy rate in entire Northeast region. Other than this Christian groups, we have Ramakrishna Mission, we have Vivekananda Society. They are playing very active role in uplifting education in the region. In the state of Arunachal Pradesh, we have so many schools run by the VKVs, Vivekananda Vidyalaya Society and Ramakrishna Mission Societies, hospitals, not only schools, they are running hospitals also. Now, this is the literacy rate of Northeast region. If you see the literacy rate, the Arunachal Pradesh, which has a literacy rate of 66.95, 59.57 are female and 94.9, out of which 81.2% are female. In Meghalaya, it is 75.43 and female literacy rate is 73.78. In case of Manipur, it is 79.85 and female literacy rate is 73.17. And Mizoram, as I said, the highest literacy rate in the entire northeastern region, 91.58 with 89.4% female. Nagaland, the literacy rate is 80.17 with female literacy rate 76.69. And in case of Sikkim, it is 82.2 and the female literacy rate is 76.43. The highest literacy rate, literate state of the region is Mizoram, which is 91.58 with 93.72% male and 89.4% female. As I was talking before, the missionaries, all the parts of northeastern region, and the least places, the least state they have ventured was Arunachal Pradesh, and that might be one of the reasons that the lowest literacy rate in the region is Arunachal Pradesh, which is 66.95, which is the lowest, the second lowest in the entire country next to Bihar. So Arunachal Pradesh is a very diverse state. We have Buddhist community, we have Hindus, we have Christians now, and we also have people following their own indigenous religion. They worship sun and moon. They calls it Dongi Polo. They worship that indigenous, practices. So the above data, it reveals high disparity among the states in literacy rate, number one. And the second, male literacy rate highly exceeding female literacy rate in all the states of the region, highlighting gender disparity. Now, before I go to the problems of women education in Northeastern region, I would like to just brief about the policies and programs of government. We all know that government has initiated so many programs and so many policies, and all those programs are successfully implemented in Northeast region. I will not say fully, but of course successfully implemented in Northeastern region. For example, if you see the Millennium Development Goal, it focuses to eliminate gender disparities and improve access to girls' education. Sustainable Development Goal, it aims to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls by 2030. And to achieve this SDGs and Millennium Development Goals, so many efforts are being taken by the government. National Education Policy 1986 and Program of Action 1992, and now we have NEP 2020, which gives so much emphasis on girls' education. There is a program, Mahila Samakhya, which was started in 1988 by Ministry of Human Resource Development. The aim of the program was empowerment of women and girls in rural areas, particularly from economically and socially marginalized groups. DPEP was also there. It was launched in 1994 to improve primary education system in India. Then the very popular Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, the flagship program. And the aim was to achieve universalization of elementary education, which we thought of at the time of independence. Then there is a program, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya scheme for the ST, SC, OBC girls. It was launched in 2004, and this is very much implemented in all the states of Northeastern region. There are programs, National Scheme of Incentive for Girls Education, and very popular Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. Construction of girls' hostel was launched in 2008 and 9. It aims to set up 100-bedded girls' hostel in 3,479 educationally backward blocks. Now, all these programs has been successfully implemented, and government is taking so much initiatives to empower girls, to educate, to eliminate gender disparities in education. But despite that, if you see the performance of students, I would say in case of our state, Arunachal Pradesh, at school level, at higher education level, if you compare the performance between boys and girls are performing much better, despite low literacy rate. But still, if you see the representation of women in policy making or in decision making in better position, you'll hardly find women representation there. Generally, women are mostly placed in clerical job, in nursing, in teaching. You'll hardly find any women in as I say, policy making. And we recently had the assembly election. We have 60 in Arunachal Pradesh. We have 60 legislatures, out of which we have only 4 women legislators. So this speaks a volume. Even if girls are performing better, the literacy rate is low, number one. Number two, why they are not better placed. So I would like to discuss a few problems of women education in context of Northeast region. Number one is I would like to talk about lack of awareness and value of girls' education. We all know that education of parents is crucial for promoting girls' education. Now, if you see the northeastern state, the society here is patriarchal society. Except Meghalaya, I think the previous speaker must have spoken about it, Meghalaya, which has a matrilineal society where the inheritance and the lineage is traced through the maternal maternal line. Except Meghalaya, all the Northeastern society, our society is a patriarchal society. So traditional viewpoint of individual and communities, it affect girls' education. As like other states, like across the country, girls are trained for household responsibilities and obey. They are trained to obey values of family. Uh, the girls' education is less valued because after all, like we all think what to do with getting so much education. After all, she has to look after the family. She has to look after her siblings. And in case of my state, there is another problem, the problem of polygamy. It's because of the patriarchal society, one man having multiple wives. There is no, uh, traditional law which says that polygamy is not acceptable in the society. So polygamy is also one of the factor which is hampering girls' education. As soon as the girl attends puberty or before that, before adolescence, girls are married off. They become, this is not very common, but it is practiced in our society. They become sometimes second wife, third wife, like that. So this is also a problem. So this is the picture I have taken from the internet. You see, husband is relaxing, coming back from office, and wife is serving the husband. And another picture, it says everybody is sitting, the mother, the sons, and even the daughter is, the father, the two sons, and the daughter is sitting, and mother is serving. So these are all, the media is flaunting this, and we also somehow consciously, unconsciously, we are also accepting it. I am also brought up in a patriarchal family. When I was young, I thought this is quite natural for a woman to serve, to take care of the family. Now, another problem is the accessibility issue. Northeastern state, as I said, it's around 60% of the population, they live in rural areas. So it's and in case of my state, Arunachal Pradesh, around 70% population lives in rural areas. We have, uh, our topography is such that people who are living in rural areas, they don't have transportation facilities. They don't have, of course, they have roads now, but they don't have good roads. Accessibility to school and colleges is a problem. Of course, after the implementation of right to education, we have schools as per the government norms. We have schools, but in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, we have 27 districts as of now. But till now, we have schools which even don't have, districts which even don't have degree colleges. Then connectivity is a problem with no, as I said, with no proper road. Roads are there, but no proper road or transportation facility. So it is very, very difficult for the parents to send their girl child for higher education when there is no higher education institutions. Accessibility to learning materials and resources is also a problem. Nowadays, internet, we talk about internet, everybody is using smartphone. But think about the place where we don't even have electricity facility. We have the districts, or we can say we have the villages which don't have proper electricity. Ek din light aega, 3 दिन light nahi aega. Then security and health issues is also a problem. Girls have to, in order to pursue higher education, they have to go to the other places, other states, or district headquarters for education. They have, then comes the security issue. So parents are insecure. They don't want to send their daughters to other places. Poverty is another problem. You see this picture, a lady carrying firewood. This is the picture of our university campus, which is situated in the capital, that is Itanagar. This picture I have taken a couple of months back during winter. I think it was January or February. Now the time we are talking about knowledge society, we are talking about artificial intelligence. You can see that a woman carrying firewood. These days, nobody, firewood is hardly used. But you can see the picture depicts the still people living in below poverty line, and you can see the role of women, multiple roles. They are selling fruits and vegetables here. Uh, so according to HDR report 2019, 47.9% of Indian households have more than 5 children and are severely deprived of water, sanitation, health, and education. Girls from poorest family will mostly likely never enroll in school. There is a vast difference between rural and urban households. There is a vast difference between rural and urban households. In case of Northeast region also, if you see the rural area, it's completely different. If you see the urban area, it's completely different. Still, girls from rural areas, they come to urban areas to work as a house help, as a maid servant. After class 5, after class 8, after class 10, they drop out from the schools because they can't afford to go to school. They can't afford of course, in government schools, the education is free. Uniforms are provided, midday meals are there, but still they have to support their family. They can't afford. So they are migrating from rural areas to urban areas to work as a household help, maid servant, or waiter to become waitress in in some restaurant or some hotels. So occupation of parents is an important factor in promoting girls' education, as we all know. And girls are also deprived of education due to lack of wage opportunities of parents. Now, another problem, I think this is very common across the country, is the domestic problem. Burden of household works. According to 2015 report on gender inequality in India, Indian women perform 10 times unpaid care work as men. You can see this picture. This is a picture of rural Arunachal Pradesh where women are carrying vegetables, women are carrying firewoods. So girls who do 2 hours of housework per day have 63% probability of finishing secondary school because they have to devote their quality time for household works. Most of their quality time they have to devote for household work. So they don't have time for education. Uh, Research indicated that individuals belonging to marginalized and economically weaker section of society usually discourage their girl child for education mainly because of participation in household responsibilities. And this is very much true in case of the northeastern states. They have to take care of their siblings, they have to take care of their livestock. We have to be, I feel when we talk about education, especially girls' education, we have to be very, very practical, and we have to discuss what really is happening in rural parts of the country, rural parts of our state. Early marriage is also a problem. 27% of girls in India are married before 18 years and 7% are married before 15 years as per UNICEF. Now, what is the reason for early marriage? Number one is insecurity. And in case of Northeastern region, this is very, very true. The feeling of insecurity, whether they will get good husband or not. What will happen if something happens to the parents? Who will take care of the daughter? Poverty. Poverty is another issue where uh, if there is a boy or if there is a girl child, if the parents are poor, ultimately the girl child has to drop out from the school. All the privileges are given to the boy child. Lack of education of parents, and also uh, lack of education of the girl. If the girl doesn't go to school, he'll be married off soon. Patriarchy and gender inequalities. patriarchal attitude, gender stereotyping, and gender inequalities everywhere. This also leads to early marriage and inadequate implementation of law, as I was talking about polygamy in our state, because we don't have adequate traditional law as such. The earlier speaker was talking about, I joined late, he was talking about marginalization of women. And many times I feel the tribal women, they don't understand their status because, they are given the women are given the freedom to work, but they don't have the right to take decision. They work, they contribute significantly to family income, they sell vegetable. If you see northeastern states, you will see most of the vegetable vendors are the the women folk. They are vegetable vendors. They are the one who carries most of the household work. They support economically to their family. But again, they are discriminated. They have to drop out from the schools, they have to drop out from the colleges in order to support their family. Enrollment in school reduces the chances of early marriage. We all know that. Marriage before the age of 15 or 18 is highly associated with the level of child's education, according to UNICEF. Educated women tend to have fewer children. Now, I would also like to talk about educational problems. Um, I don't know how many of we realize that there are so many problems in our education system also. For example, gender discrimination in choice of subject. In choice of subject, uh, supposing if the subject is maths, it is generally associated with boys. We say, oh, this is boy subject. Girls will not be able to perform well in physics or chemistry or maths. But if it's a home science or it's a language or humanity, they will directly say, oh, it's a, no, this is girl subject, you can perform better. You go for home science, this will help you in your future to take care of your family. Then discriminatory treatment in participation in co-curricular activities. Knowingly, unknowingly, we don't allow our girls to participate in co-curricular activities. I think all of you must have seen in the newspapers or in the social media these days, our girls, the girls from Northeastern region, they are doing very good in sports like in boxing, in wushu, they are coming up. In athletes also, they are very good athletes. They are coming up, but they are not given opportunity. If they are trained properly, if they are given opportunity, they will perform. They will do much better than right now what they are doing. We have a very good sports women in our state, but they are not given opportunity since from school level. Then teachers' behavior is also a problem. Teachers' behavior, many times we don't realize the how teacher is behaving, but teachers' behavior is also very, very important. Unknowingly, as a teacher, uh, they give negative comments. पढ़ाई करके क्या करना है लड़की को? What will you do? So instead, they will encourage the boys. They'll encourage boys. You have to take care of feed your family. You have to earn. Girls, you don't have to earn. You have to take care of your family. काम करो, घर का काम करो. Then, of course, unequal uh, opportunities in all spheres of life. Then another problem is in school infrastructure. As I was talking about the policies and programs of government, um, there are so many programs which has been initiated, facilities are given, but still uh, the topography of Arunachal Pradesh is such, it is such an state, it is far, it's a very far, especially in my state, it's very far from the mainland. So, there are problems of furniture, classroom, separate toilet, drinking water, fans. All these are very, very essential to enhance enrollment of girls. If you see the topography of northeastern region and Arunachal Pradesh, you see the bag of cement, which may be costing around 400 to 500 rupees in Kolkata or in Delhi, it will be costing around 700 to 800 rupees in uh, northeastern region. If it goes to the rural areas. So that is the difference. And somehow I also feel that the goal of free and compulsory education is mismatched with the resources allocated for basic education. And since from independence, under universalization of elementary education, we are providing free and compulsory education, uh, compulsory pre-primary education, then elementary education, and in government colleges till now we are providing free education to ST and SC boys, and up to some extent scholarship also. But when we talk about northeastern region, you know what happens because of the topography, because of the area, whatever the incentives, or you can say whatever the facilities being provided by the government is, it doesn't match with our goal. Then another problem is, I find, the lack of interest. Lack of interest is also a factor for dropout among girls. I have been teaching in the university since, last almost 20 years now. Somehow I feel it is because of patriarchal attitude, gender stereotyping. Girls, they are lacking in self-confidence, number one. Number two, they may be lacking in guidance or time management. They are not that ambitious. They are not that ambitious like the girls, I use the term again, who are from the mainland India. You will find hardly any few girls ambitious, highly ambitious to become an IS officer, to become an entrepreneur, to become a successful person in life. So I find I think this is a very peculiar problem in case of Northeastern region. Of course, I am not generalizing. We have good bright students, we have ambitious girls also, but mostly, and especially in case of Arunachal Pradesh, I felt that there is a lack of interest because of, and I feel it's because of patriarchy and because of the brought up. Uh, of course, lack of female teachers, and I think this is common for all, because studies revealed that lack of known availability of teachers, female teachers, is one of the reasons for dropout among girls. Girls are more likely to attend school if they have female teachers. School atmosphere is another factor because the school environment is not same all over the country. As I said, the quality of physical condition, pedagogical sensitive, and teachers are not available in all schools, especially in rural areas. You'll find so many schools in the rural areas which don't even have subject teachers. You'll find schools in the rural areas where one teacher is managing teaching all the subjects and the teacher is on leave. That means school is closed. So that is why now the government is in the process of closing down, these non-functional schools. Then violence against girls is a problem seen in rural as well as urban areas. Violence such as emotional abuse, bullying, sexual harassment, rape are not new. These problems are not new, and this is a reason for girls dropping out from school. Recently, we had a case of, in rural parts of Arunachal Pradesh, we have a case of sexual harassment, sexual abuse in the hostels. So such cases are very, very common, and that has been happening since last many years. But even if the girls, many times it happens that even if the girls complains, the parents, they will not listen or they don't understand that they are being abused. And sometimes because of the, society, the girls, they have to keep silent, they have to hide everything. So, so violence against girls is also a very serious problem in the entire Northeast region and I think across the country. Now, these were the problems. I'll talk a little bit about the gender equality indicators in education. Uh, what are the gender equality indicators? Every girl child has equality of access to quality education in terms of enrollment, subject choice, in terms of subject choice, uh, assessment method, study time at home and facilities. Because girls are not given quality study time, sufficient study time at home, like their uh, their siblings, like boy child. And another indicator is if every child is given opportunity to reach his or highest full potential. Now, how many of our girl child are given opportunity to reach his or her full potential? As I said many times, they were deprived of choosing their choice of subject. They may be having that aptitude, they may be having interest, but they are not given opportunity. So every school should promote participation of all children, irrespective of gender. So I would like to end here by quoting Mahatma Gandhi: if you educate a man, you educate an individual, but if you educate a woman, you educate entire family. So I would like to stop here. If you have anything, any observation, any queries, I would like to respond. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for a very enlightening presentation. I would now request the participants to come up with their questions or comments, any observations. You can also put your questions in the chat box. Yes, Amrita? Amrita?
Yes, may I, Mohali?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Kesang ma'am. Thank you so much for such an enriching talk, enriching lecture. Uh, what I feel like when I went to Rajiv Gandhi University for a presentation 2 years back, I had communication with the girls from, if I'm not wrongly articulating, Apatani tribes, Galo tribes, and also Nisi tribes. Most of them said that, ma'am, regarding this transportation system, we are facing uh, we are facing hurdles here. Like our only mode of communication to this university is the bus provided by the university itself. So that's a great initiative by the university itself. But when I asked them about their future plans, whether they wished to, pursue an academic career, most of them said, uh, the most of them were a little confused. And after hearing your presentation, it seems that they are, yes, I also found them less confident about their um, own career. Maybe they are not well guided by the family itself. Maybe there are no such policies or programs which can create a sort of awareness among them. And secondly, when you were just talking about NEP, how it is, talking about gender sensitization, do you think NEP 2020 has sufficiently been able to address the gender sensitization in educational curricula, since it is not promoting even sex education among students? So regarding the situation in Northeast, I don't know how far girls and boys are aware of these basic things like sex education. Whether this sort of program can, you are talking about some sort of shyness in your presentation. lack of confidence and other things, and also the sexist attitude of the teachers. Uh, yeah, several factors were coming up through your lecture. So I just want to know if that sex education is being promoted, is there a chance of a greater literacy of both men and women in Northeast region?
Thank you, Amrita, for your observation. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you have, you were very attentive in my presentation. See, sex education, it is nowadays the NCF, the National Curriculum Framework. They are emphasizing, and it is a component. It's a part of school curriculum. But at the same time, in case of northeastern state, I feel that unless and until there is an attitudinal change is very, very important. Unless and until there is an attitudinal change, the literacy rate, the chances of literacy, improving the literacy rate, especially the girls' literacy rate, is very, very less. We need to change our attitude first. If you remember, I was talking about polygamy also, which is, I think, which is new for, which may be new for you. I mean, the people of
Mm.
other parts of the country, because our society is a, it's a patriarchal society, and generally, even if you have so much opinion at it, even your husband will not like it. So unless and until there is an attitudinal change, especially among the boys, that is why these days we have, in the advertisement, and there are so many people coming up saying you have to educate your boys first, no, to become
Yes,
gender sensitive. That is, so I feel that we need to have changes, attitudinal change. That is very, very important, Amrita.
yes, yes. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your response, and thank you, Amrita, for your observation. Any more questions or comments from the participants? Okay, so we have almost come to the end of the session. And ma'am, I would again like to thank you for your very insightful presentation. The presentation has wonderfully captured the problems of women's education in Northeast India, highlighting on the mismatch between the goal of providing compulsory elementary education for all and the lack of available infrastructure, and of course the problems associated with gender stereotyping and the associated issue of safety and security of the girl child. A very crucial dimension that you have pointed out today is that in spite of the fact that women are performing better than men, gender disparity in literacy rate as well as invisibility of women in policy making roles prevails even today. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you once again for this very thought-provoking lecture. And it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for, yeah, I would also like to thank you all for having me here. And Amrita, she's like my sister, my friend, and the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.